Okay, so get yourself ready for your restorative practice. Just have a blanket on top of your usual yoga mat, just to give you a little bit of extra cushioning, and then a blanket for your head and a bolster underneath your knees, and a couple of a couple of blocks for underneath your feet. If you've got something to cover your eyes with, then that can be an effective way of quietening the brain. So just lay yourself down along the floor. Just observe for a few moments the feeling of relaxation and thankfulness that comes from finally laying down after a long day, releasing into the floor. Cover your eyes with an eye cushion or just a flannel or something, just to keep the eyes quiet and to stop the light from getting in. And then allow yourself to release into the floor. So you may need to move about a little in order to settle. So just spend a short time in the pose, just observing whether or not the pose feels level. Whether you feel level and supported by the bolster and the blanket, whether you need to do something to adjust. So never be afraid of adjusting if you're uncomfortable, just using the equipment to bring level, extension and relaxation. Breathe evenly and deeply, just spending a little time observing how the physical body makes contact with the floor. Draw your attention into the soles of the feet, so that the soles of the feet feel as though they come to life a little, that there is a tingly sensation in the soles of the feet. And allow the sole of the foot to relax, softening the muscle and the flesh and the skin, relaxing the bone. Draw your attention into the top of the foot. Draw your attention to the top of the foot and allow the skin of the top of the foot to consciously relax. Letting go of skin, muscle, and the bone. Relaxing the top of the foot so that it feels even with the bottom of the foot. Draw your attention into the shin. Feeling the skin of the shins come to life in a tingly awareness. Just become conscious of the shin skin and allow the shin bone to sink into the calf muscle. And then allow the shin bone to sink into the calf muscle, allowing the thigh to sink, the shin to sink into the bolster and the blocks, matching that relaxation of the muscles and the skin between the shin and the feet. And then draw your focus into your thighs. Draw your attention into the thighs, feeling the skin of the thighs come to life like tingle. And then consciously allow the fronts of the thighs to sink into the backs of the thighs. As though the fronts of the thighs are heavy and sinking into the back, so that your legs are completely relaxed. The feet and the shins and the thighs connect in that sensation of relaxation. Draw your attention into the pelvis and the abdomen. Feeling the skin tingle with awareness. And then allow the abdomen to soften, releasing the muscles around the abdomen, around the pelvis. And then relaxing the abdomen and pelvis. Feeling the same lightness of sensation in the abdomen and in the pelvis as in the legs. Draw your focus into your chest, into the rib cage, into the lungs, feeling the lungs expanding and contracting with the breath. And then allow the chest to completely relax, so that the legs and the abdomen and the chest feel as though they are floating. Draw your consciousness into your arms, into the shoulders and the upper arms and the elbows and the wrists and the palms. Just bring in that consciousness, that tingly consciousness into the arms and the hands and the shoulders. And then release the arms into the floor. Just unhooking the muscles of the arms so that the arms feel light and energized like the chest and the legs. Just relaxing the arms and the hands into the floor. And then draw your focus into your neck. Softening the muscles around the neck. And softening the skin around the skull. From the top of the skull down across the face, down towards the chin and the neck. So consciously releasing tension from the face. Just allowing the body to just rest into the floor. No demand on the physical body, just letting the face relax so that it matches the arms and the chest and the legs. Letting the ears relax. Okay, when you're ready, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, and then bring your feet onto the bolster. Have your feet on the bolster with your knees together. And then very gently roll over onto your side. And then sit yourself up into a cross leg position. Looks like my camera stops working. Just let me sort that out for a second. It's a bit temperamental, this camera, sometimes. There you go. So we're gonna bring ourselves onto a side stretch just to open up the energy of the shoulders. So if you've got a oblong bolster, use that for underneath your chest, your side chest, and then have a block for your head. If you haven't got an oblong bolster, then use your blanket, just fold it up again, so you got this quite thick blanket, and then that's going to go into your armpit chest when you lay down onto your side. Otherwise, just using the bolster. So lengthen out this side as you stretch the side ribs along the bolster, and then have the block for your head. So you're just supporting yourself with the bolster, and then you can either stay with your arm just resting on the side of your hip, or stretch your arm over your ear, and then allow yourself to release into the floor. Now, this pose, if there's stiffness in your shoulders, it's a really good way of releasing stiffness. But if there's stiffness in your shoulders, you can just put a block or two underneath your hand, your upper hand, so that you just support your shoulder. So as we progress into the sequence, I'll speak less and less, so that you can just spend the time relaxing rather than listening. Aim to breathe into both lungs evenly, even though one side feels a little restricted. And then when you're ready, bring your arm back to the side of the chest and then push the arm in the floor, the arm on the floor into the floor so that you can bring yourself into a cross leg position. Just sit in cross legs and just feel how the energy of the shoulders maybe feels open but not quite even. So we need to go over onto the other side. So just come to the other side of the hip, stretch the hip out along the bolster, having the shoulder on the floor, resting your head on the block, and then resting your arm over your ear. And then bring that top arm back onto the side of the body. Push your elbow into the floor and then just bring yourself up back into cross legs, just holding onto your knees. Just observe how perhaps your energy has leveled itself out a little. How the energy around the shoulders and around the head feels. So it's flowing and light. Okay, and then bring your bolster long weight like this. And we're going to make a little bit of a ramp with our bolster. So have 2 blocks and have one block on the low edge like this, and then have the other on a higher edge, so that you create this little ramp like that. So a little kind of well, a ramp. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, and then get your blanket and just unfold it so that it's a long fold like this, and then fold it down the middle. So you've got this long kind of lengthy fold like that. And then you're going to bring your feet in towards the body like you're doing Supta, so like you're doing Supta Baddha Konasana or the butterfly pose. Then bring the blanket around the fronts of the legs, and then pull the ends of the blankets through between the 2 knees. So you've got this kind of support. So it's going to keep your feet in place, but it will also give you a little bit of cushioning for your legs. So just bring yourself down along your bolster, and then allow the front of the body to just open from the lift of the bolster. Let your arms rest on the floor, have the palms facing upwards, and then just allow yourself to release into the floor. Feel that the chest is opened by the bolster. So just allow yourself to release into the floor. Don't try and support yourself with your arms. Just let your arms hang down. So put blocks under your arms if they don't feel comfortable. Just release into the lifts. So the pelvic region gets a good feeling of opening. Just drawing energy into the pelvis and into the legs. And then push your elbows into the floor, push your hands into the floor, and then come up into a seated position. Again, just sit yourself in cross legs and just observe your energy. Light energy that hopefully feels as though it has spread into the abdomen and into the pelvis and into the legs. And then we're going to finish off in bridge pose. So you can have a bolster where you can reach it. Get your blanket, just fold it back up into your quarter fold. So just like you're just going to use it as a pillow. So just fold your blanket up again. Oh, I've done that wrong. I'm not sure what's going on there. Let me just do that again. Okay, so I've messed up my folded blanket a little bit. Let me just try and sort this out. So just get it into, there you go. So fold it into this type of shape and then roll the end up so that you create a little kind of Swiss roll with some blanket there for your head. And then you're just going to come down onto your back and just let that little Swiss roll support the back of your neck. So that in the back of the neck, so it feels really nice, like a little lump, like a little support in the back of the neck. And then lift the seat bones up and then slide the bolster underneath the back. So you can bring it quite high up the back so that it keeps the chest lifted and open. So you can either have your arms just resting on the floor at the sides of the body, or you could rest your arms over your head, a little bit like the mountain pose position. So just see which of those feels right for you. You might need to roll your blanket up a little more or a little less. So you don't want it to kind of restrict your neck, you want it to support it. Oh, my watch thinks I'm talking to it. And then just when you are in position, just gently release into the pose. So again, just adjust until the pose feels right and comfortable. Don't suffer in discomfort. This practice is about relaxation. If you feel that you're sinking in the chest, then just shuffle your bolster up a little higher up your back so that your chest feels like it's lifted a little better. See the feet are pressing into the floor gently, the knees are bent, and then just allow yourself to release. And then just lift the seat bones, just slide the bolster away so that you bring the bolster underneath your knees. And then you can either stay with the rolled up blanket underneath your head, or if it doesn't feel comfortable, just unroll the blanket and just fold it up. Or you can just have the roll underneath your neck still. And then just for the last few minutes, just release into the floor. Just feel as though your body is full of energy, like a white golden light. And the energy is radiating from the bones and through the skin. Just a warm golden light filling the entirety of the body, from the toes to the fingers to the head, as though the body is empty and just full of light. And that golden light shines through the skin. Just basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. Basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. And then when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. And then bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster. Just have the knees together, the feet apart, just resting your back into the floor. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from top to bottom, from side to side, just easing out any tension in your back, and just a gentle grounding massage, just bringing your focus back into the room, back into the body. And then gently roll over onto your right side, and then straighten out the top leg, come back up into seated position. Final cross legs with your hands in Namaste, just a final spinal lift. Drawing your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice. Like good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the quietening Restorative poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then very gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards, and as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you've really lifted your energy and given yourself good energy to put into your evening. So thank you very much for joining me.